So I have a little synthesizer track. I found what I think is a good setting already, so I'm going to play the track and flick the bypass in and out. So let's start with the Freqtube in. Okay, so let's have a look at what these controls do. So we've got the drive control in the center, and that's going to control how much of an effect we get from the Freqtube. And we've got these filters in. The parallel filter works on the dry signal. And as we can see, we've got a high pass filter, and we're cutting off at round about 750 Hertz. It seems a bit strange that I have to adjust that control to see the frequency, but there we go. And we've got a slope of 12 decibels per octave. On the other side, we have the primary filter, which works on the vacuum tube chain, and we've got a low pass filter. Again, we've got a frequency around about 760 Hertz, so I'm not going to get too worried about that. And we've got a slope of 12 dB per octave. Down here, we've got the E83CC vacuum tubes. Down here, further, we have the harmonics control. And if we had a sine wave input, we would see the shape of the sine wave, and we would see the harmonics approximately here. Okay, that's what it does. I'll put it back. And here we have the mix between the dry signal, which is the signal that goes through the Freqtube and is affected by the filter, and the wet signal on the other side. So I'm going to play around with these controls and see what kind of differences they make, and I'll start with the drive. Here we go. So we can see from that there's such a thing as too little and such a thing as too much, and I find 8 in this case to be a good setting. I'm going to leave these filters where they are. We could change the vacuum tubes and see what effect that has. Let's do that. This green banner up here is asking me to set a key input, but because I'm using my screen recording software, I can't do that, but it doesn't seem to be holding me back too much, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go down to the analog mix, and we'll balance it between dry and wet and see what difference that makes. Okay, what we're hearing here at the dry setting, we are hearing it through this filter, so it's not the same as the original signal. But we'll go for it and see what happens. So I am balancing the frequencies between the highs and the lows here, as well as the effect of the vacuum tubes, but this is what we want to try and achieve with this unit. Let's just try it again. I like it around there, so I'm going to play the track again, and I'm going to flick the bypass in and out. Here we go. So there we have it, the Freqtube on a nice little synthesizer track.